Hey everybody, welcome back to another week of yTeam stories. We know you're ready and raring to go for person number 2 of this season, and I'm very, very excited to be interviewing the amazing, incredible Luke Jobson today from our New South Wales / almost US yTeam, if we can make that a claim to fame. I'm just going to get you to introduce yourself for those that don't know you and explain a little bit about how you got involved with yLead.
Yeah, for those that don't know me, I'm Luke Jobson, part of the New South Wales crew. Have been for 8 years now. It's been a quick minute since I got involved with yLead. First got in contact with yLead at a student council day. So here in New South Wales, we have student leadership councils, and we had a regional conference. A young man by the name of Matt Kershaw was the keynote speaker. A lot of it was based around his personal story, being a guy who came up at Hills Grammar. So he was talking a lot about, his story and going through high school and the trials and tribulations. He spoke about yLead and what they do and the impact they have. And it really touched me. It felt like something that I wanted to be a part of. So I strolled down to him and basically straight up said, "Hey, how do I work with yLead?" That was pretty much it. It's like, well, you can't really do that at the moment. But we had this super awesome conference, ASLC, that we run in Sydney in October. So I tagged along to that. It was just me, not school funded. I went, it was amazing. Came back in 2013 as another participant, brought some guys from Ufield along, and then, been volunteering. Well, I say volunteering ever since, but we've been on and off the last 5 years, being across in the good old United States of America. But it's been really good fun. It's always good to come back to yLead.
Thanks so much, Luke. And for those that don't know you that well, if you were to describe yourself in 3 words, what 3 words would you use?
All right, let's go passionate, outgoing, and very honest.
Those are very accurate as well. That was a great choice of words there, Luke. I love it. And this might be a difficult question for you because you've just come back home, but feel free to answer it for either where you were living in the US or where you're living now. But what's your favourite thing to do in the area in which you live?
So Sydney, honestly, I love getting on the water. I love fishing. It's not something that many people know about me, but I love taking a couple of beers down, dropping a line off a pontoon or casting it into out of the Sydney heads. Absolutely love doing that. I lived 4 years in West Virginia, beautiful place, complete different culture, but absolutely loved it. You can't go past the bushwalking and hiking, going on the trails there. They have so many incredible trails and hidden sites.
All right, this is a quirky question, but I feel like you're going to get around it. What is your spirit animal?
I think I'm going with a lion. Very, very passionate, very proud, but very loyal. And very loyal to those who I love, those who I keep around in my life.
Gosh, I'm just hearing like the Lion King soundtrack in my head. It was quite cool. I enjoyed it. Also, got literally a lion behind me, so
that definitely helped a little bit. It helped a little bit that.
You just found the inspiration up here, didn't you?
Oh yeah.
Oh, so good. All right, next question is, if you could have dinner with any person, alive or dead, who would it be and what would you talk about?
Obama. It would have to be Obama. Moving to America in 2015, it was the back end of his second presidential term. Obviously, US presidents, they're a very polarizing figure. It doesn't matter what party they represent. It doesn't matter who they are. But he would speak with such class and dignity. But I mean, who also just doesn't want to share a dinner table with Obama and just pop off a couple of bottles of red or drink a couple of beers, talk about his college days as well. I just feel like hearing both sides of him would be an incredible time, awe-inspiring, and an opportunity that I definitely would never pass down if the opportunity arose.
I definitely would want an invite to that dinner party. If I am on the list, I would love to be there. Incredible, so cool. If you were to present a TED Talk, what would you present it on? What would be your topic?
The different sporting cultures between Australia and America. I've been blessed to not only watch sports, but play sports at a pretty high level in both countries, and the cultures are so different. Yeah, here in Australia, we're thinking, great, awesome, 25,000, 30,000 in a stadium, such a fantastic regular season game. But you then move to college sports in America, and especially those big D1 schools where University of Texas has 75,000 people every second Saturday, and it's anything less than that's a disappointment. The different marketing opportunities and the different availabilities of stadia and of athletes really changes and adapts to how a fan kind of consumes the sport.
My next question is, which might be linked to the question that you just answered, but what is a skill that you have that you could teach others?
Come on, LG, you know this one. You know this one. If you're watching this and you don't know the answer to this, and you know me, I'll be slightly disappointed. Of course, it's race walking. Race walked here for 8 years, gave it up as I moved to America, played soccer for West Virginia Tech, small NAIA college. Walked onto their athletics team after my first semester, my freshman year, and I mean, the rest is history. And it's one thing you see in the track and field community. A lot of people will laugh at it and think that it's a joke of a sport, but then they'll try it. And after about 100 meters, when their knees are burning and their shins are burning and their hips are sore, they're like, all right, you win. This is a real sport.
It is a unique sport, and I wanted to ask you as well how on earth you came into the sport to begin with. Where did that come from?
Well, so I did athletics from 5 years old, and in New South Wales we start race walks in the under 9s. It's a 700 meter event. The first night I did it, it was purely because my mum said, I'm your age manager, you have to do it this whole year. So I did it, didn't do it very well, was very happy just to not do it the next year. But then one of our coaches was Lisa Grant, and that name doesn't ring a bell for anyone, but she was a Commonwealth Games race walker. I got some coaching off her and Joe Mikulev, one of the coaches at the club at the time. Just, they fixed my technique, they got me rolling. I went to zone, then region and state that year, and just went with it. Took me to 23 different states in the US. I've traveled up and down the East Coast, over to Adelaide, down to Tasmania for it. Again, I owe it to mum and kind of just putting a foot down and saying, no, go, do it. Don't be a sook. And yeah, 14 years later, it's done me the world of good.
Good old mum, always bringing the goods in life, I swear. The next question is, our 5 colours of leadership. So for those that don't, red is passion, green is growth, white is integrity. Yes, I am reading my notes to make sure I get them right. Blue is vision and yellow is service. So right now, at your point in life, is there one of those colours that particularly resonates with you? If
you would ask me at any other time in my life, I would have said red. I would have said passion. Yeah, those who know me know I'm a very passionate person. I don't do things just because it's there. I do it because I want to do it, because I love to do it. Right now, though, I finished my master's degree 2 days ago as we record this. So I think right now, thank you. Right now, I'm more resonating with green, with growth. It's a very, very different time in my life. It's one that I'm not used to. I'm not used to not knowing what the future holds for me. Now, obviously, I wasn't able to find a job coming out. The job market in the sports industry is crazy, both in America and here in Australia. So, it's all about personal growth for me right now, and trying to figure out where I'm going to be not only the best fit within an organization, but what's going to be the best fit for me, as a person and as I continue to grow in life. So much experience that you have from all of your study and all of your life experience over the years, I'm sure will take you to a really cool place. So we're excited to find out what that is. Who knows? All right, we get to do this fun part now. It's called the Fast Five. It's literally like you choose between one of these options, which one you prefer in the moment, beach or forest? Beach. Savory or sweet? Sweet. Yes, me too. Stan or Netflix? Netflix. Road trip or plane trip? Oh, road trip all the way. I'm done with planes. This is fair. And last one, early riser or night owl? Night owl, all the way.
All right. The last question I wanted to ask you, which has sort of been woven throughout this entire interview, is about your experience in the US, and particularly outside of even the sports industry, but just in general, what the difference between the American culture and the Australian culture was in your experience. And yeah, if you have any stories to tell about that and your experience in the US in general, feel free to include those. But maybe just start by sharing sort of why you decided to head over there in the first place.
I guess the story of me going there starts with me quitting soccer, which is slightly ironic because I played 3 years of collegiate soccer in the States. At the time, I was umpiring in the AFL down here, in AFL Sydney. Had umpired rep games between AFL Sydney and AFL Canberra, AFL Sydney and AFL Victoria. It was doing really well. So I'd quit soccer that year. I was going to focus on that, but I got this invitation from NSR Australia, who's now IM360, to trial for potential scholarship in America. So I went. I was like, why not? The worst that happens is they say no. And to really make that part really brief, got through, had an interview. They said, all right, send us your stuff. We'll help you out. Got 2 offers, one from Boston University, Division 1, great school, but they wanted me to pay $35,000 a year, or West Virginia Tech, small school in a state that I didn't even know existed, only paying $18,000 a year. So I went to West Virginia Tech. It was a great experience as well, being able to say, I'm moving to America. I'm going to spend 4 years away from my family. It's a really good time for me to grow as a person. Plus, I can still chase a dream. I'm essentially getting paid a little bit to go play sports in the United States. That was a dream of mine. Always wanted to play sports internationally. A little different road from where I had envisioned, but we still got there in the end. Where I was is very unique. West Virginia as a state are very set in their ways. They're not incredibly progressive. A lot of the time you see, especially in the small schools, a lot of internationals come in because they have this opportunity to play sports. And don't get me wrong, I love West Virginia. The people there were fantastic to me. I had, tons of families, take me in for Thanksgiving. My coach, fantastic, consider him one of my best friends to the day. But a lot of people in West Virginia are very much, America first. They're not quite as accepting of others coming in to, especially if they are on scholarships or getting academic aid, because a lot of them see that as taking away the opportunity of Americans. Some of my friends, especially my first year, don't get me wrong, we love it that you're here, but don't you think that you're taking away an opportunity from Johnny Go Lucky down the road who was playing soccer in high school? I guess from a sporting perspective, to me, it was, well, if they were good enough, they'd be in my position. It was kind of hard initially, and I got very homesick that first semester because I had a lot of that, coming at me. And the thing about West Virginia is, while you do have people like that, you have some really amazing people that you meet, be it from West Virginia, be it from Ohio, Kentucky, from the other side of the country, or in my case, the other side of the world. There are some amazing people that are in that state. And, I found this really, really cool group of friends. Some of them grew up in some really poor counties of West Virginia and America. 2 of my friends came from the poorest county in America, McDowell County, West Virginia. To put that into perspective, their family on average earns about $10,000 a year. Them getting to college was a huge deal for them. The American culture in that regard, I absolutely love. I love that a lot of Americans, hardworking, loyal, they're not just dependent on themselves or one another. They will go out and make sure that they're doing what they need to do in order to get things done. For all the highs and the lows that were there, I wouldn't have changed a single moment those last 5 years. I had so much fun in West Virginia. I had an amazing experience in Tallahassee. I was able to compete in athletics for 4 years. I have athletic accolades. I have a bachelor's and a master's now. And I got to travel half of America, if not more, because of the opportunities that the American culture gave me. Oh, it's hard not to get emotional thinking about it and reminiscing over the last 5 years. But, you know, I had an amazing time. The people over there are incredible, but don't get me wrong, I'm happy to be home.
So beautiful. Thanks so much for sharing. It's I think a dream of a lot of people to be able to immerse yourself in a different country and really get to know the people that you're meeting along the way. And so I'm sure that resonated with a lot of people that might have had experiences similar to yours or would like to one day. So thanks so much for sharing it. And I hope you can stay connected to all those amazing people that you met, because I'm sure they would love to continue networking with you across the years. Thank you so much for giving up your time to be with me today, Luke. It's been an absolute pleasure, and you're so eloquent in the way you speak and present yourself, and I'm sure that there's lots of things people are going to take out of this interview, even if it's just, you know, the fact that race walking is a really ideal sport to get into. So people, get on it. It's, you know, untapped waters out there. Let's go.
Yeah, get around it. Definitely get around it. Thanks, Luce.
Thanks so much, Luke. And we'll see you guys next week on another episode of yTeam Stories.